And we're back. Another episode of the Zap Powers podcast. Today we got Ryan Schneider. Woo! What's going on, buddy?
Oh, just laying in bed now.
Good
Got comfy
stuff.
for this.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for doing this, man. Appreciate it.
I'm excited to get deep into it.
Yeah, buddy. How you been? What you been up to? What's new? Tell me about it.
Uh, Twice a week, I go to physiotherapy for what was a broken foot at the end of July. Broke 3 bones.
Oh, fuck. That sucks, man. How'd that
I can
happen?
basically, at work, building a retaining wall and a nice big, like 400-pound stone rolled off the forklift onto my foot.
Holy shit. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, the steel toes protect nothing more than what they promised to.
Just your toes, yeah.
Yeah, so 3 metatarsals.
You need like a steel foot boot instead.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Holy shit. Well, hopefully, at least maybe you'll get like a comedy bit out of it or something. I don't know.
That's the dream. Or, and this is what I'm also hoping for, a full recovery.
Yes, exactly. I hope that. I wish you a full recovery, bro.
Thank you. I'm trying to sue Gravity, but they have the best lawyers.
Oh fuck. Yeah, that'd be sick if you got a bunch of money too. If you had like $1 million, what would you do with it?
I would definitely buy more groceries from Denninger's. That would be like the immediate lifestyle change. Maybe pay off some debts, but
Would you open a comedy club, you think?
uh, not to like step on Levity's toes or anything. Maybe I'd go to like the
Mhm.
edge of Hamilton and be like the
Right.
airport comedy club.
Yeah, sure. You don't want to be like competition. I was thinking that too. But if I had like tons of money, I would love to open a comedy club because I have all these ideas like I want to try and different things, but like I obviously don't have the platform.
Yeah, I kind of had this fantasy. Like, I'd occasionally buy a lottery ticket when I'm working, and it's like if I won, I'd go to like the same amount of open mics and stuff that I do, but I would just secretly give like $500 at the end of the show to whoever I found the funniest.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
If some up and coming comic just tickled me the right way that night, I'd give them the $500 and be like, "That was awesome."
If you go levity all the time, then Manolis would be fucking winning that money all the time, probably.
I don't know. I would be almost worried about Manolis finding success financially if he would still be himself.
You think? Well, yeah, I guess money changes people, but I think he'd still be himself. I think he's just a great guy. It's like fucking. I don't know,
He's
like a
awesome.
lot of people like Joe Rogan and shit, they got money and they seem like good guys, right?
Oh yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I don't believe that money corrupts 100%.
Oh, it definitely does. Like if I had like a bunch more money, I don't know. I feel like I would do more good than bad though. But I mean,
You treat yourself.
yeah, I would probably like try heroin and shit. I don't know. Might as well.
Oh, you get all that money and you want to go for like street drugs.
Yeah, then you can get like the best heroin, right? Because I don't know if I would go buy heroin now. I don't know what the fuck it is. But if I'm rich
Uh,
as fuck, I can like pay for that good shit, you know?
I guess so. Have your own like team of private bedside doctors to make sure the needles are all taken
Yeah,
care of. I just wouldn't want to
exactly.
learn that part of it if I had to
I don't really
opiate.
like needles, so I'd have to have like somebody else inject me, you know what I mean? I'd be like, oh.
With something like heroin, I have a feeling that that's only an issue the first time.
Yeah,
And
fuck.
after that, you're just like, oh, I know what's on the other end of this. It's
Yeah.
gross. Like, it's different with something like a tetanus shot because it's like I've spent my whole life not having tetanus.
Hmm.
The shot is just more of that.
Man,
But maybe,
heroin and meth have like the worst reputations for drugs, you know? I never want to try either of those just because like the reputation is so bad. It's like it ruins your fucking life, you know?
it's sad how much a strong physical addiction can destroy a life.
True.
For a slight down note there.
Yeah, goddamn, we got super deep, super quick, man. I love it though. It's good
I
shit.
had a feeling. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. Fucking Just been releasing shit on YouTube. It's been going good. I just hit 500 subscribers. Woo!
Well, that's triple dig for sure.
Yeah.
I really enjoy your ukulele covers. They tickle me.
Thanks, bro. Thank you, man. Yeah. I'm gonna
I
do
wish
more of those soon. Hopefully, I enjoy those too, cause like that's what gets the most views, right? Like, um,
it's very digestible content.
yeah, and it's like super quick. It's only like a couple minutes, right? Where it's like if people are gonna watch the podcast, they have to like,
Commit.
be going on a long drive or something. I don't know.
Do you edit? I've only watched a couple. Do you edit them pretty hard or
No, I
just
don't
like
edit
monsters?
them at all, bro. Just post them
Okay.
completely raw. I don't take anything out.
Yeah.
The only
Oh
ones that
boy.
have been edited are the Ryan ones with Ryan Sim, like the Simmer Down.
His baby was just shitting down his front the whole.
Yeah, he edits them because like the one he was talking about like baby dicks and shit. So then he like edited that out because he didn't want me to
For
post
the
that.
record, Mom, if I recommended you watch the podcast, it ends right now, and there's like 45 minutes of ads coming up. You don't need that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Good night, Mom.
Good night, Mom.
All right.
That's hilarious, bro. Fuck, I wish I was getting ads, bro. I want to get some of that ad money.
What do I have near me? we can plug it, and then you send them the bill. That's
Oh yeah,
honestly
and it'll be like $5. Yeah.
Brought to you by Excel that I
Yeah.
store my wet naps in.
It's actually not a sponsor. Excel isn't. We gotta say that just so they know. Oh,
Okay.
also you got the Beats by Dre headphones, right?
Don't worry, I didn't buy them. I like any respectable beat consumer. I traded weed for them.
Nice. That's amazing. Yeah.
I understand that they're overpriced, but they are comfortable and fairly stylish.
hmm
But what do I know about style?
Yeah, what do I know about style? I rock this fucking PlayStation headset like you were talking about before you started recording.
You're always in a big sweater too. You're just undeniably the most comfortable looking person in the room.
Gotta be, bro. Until I got pants. Until
you got pants?
yeah, I got pants a couple of weeks ago. Now I don't wear pajama pants or sweatpants anymore. I'm rocking the
That's
jeans so I
bonkers.
can wear a belt. Pardon?
That's bonkers. That's like assault.
Yeah. Yeah, it was wild. Yo, it was crazy. And then so what happened to all the people that didn't watch my set? Pardon?
Okay, you go ahead.
Oh yeah, it's so a buddy of mine was telling this lady, she keeps going, Sab's got a really big dick, right? And then
Spreading the gospel truth, yeah.
he's never seen my dick. He doesn't know. Like I feel like I'm doing my bit now because I said it on stage once. But yeah, so she like fucking just comes up behind me. Her friend was actually filming, which I didn't mention on stage. But her friend's like filming this. I'm just having a cigarette, and she's like this like fucking 50-year-old woman goes, "I want to see this big dick," and she pulls my pants down, right? And I was like, "Oh my fucking god, dude." When I say it on stage and shit, I said my dick was like flopping around, but that didn't actually happen. Luckily, I was wearing boxers that stayed on. But
To whom was not lucky?
yeah.
I was
But yeah, and then she kept going. She was like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry. If you did that to a girl, you would go to jail. You would go to jail." And I was like, "Yo, just leave me alone. Like, get the fuck away from me, lady."
My question is, if she had gotten the underwear too, who gets in trouble for the public nudity, you or her?
Yeah, exactly. Imagine I get arrested after that.
Yeah.
I'm just standing there with my dick out, and then I like fucking get handcuffed, and
Then and only then would you be grateful that that friend was filming.
yeah. I was kind of like mad at first she was filming, then I was like, man, but if that went viral and I like get famous on that, and then it could like push my comedy, that would be so sick. I'd be so happy. You know what I mean? But
really
I think
looking
she
for
said
that
she
jump
deleted the video, and then I was like, oh fuck, whatever.
That's a video evidence, tricky stuff. What, Sab? What scares you?
What scares me?
Yeah.
Oh man, death. Actually, I'm scared to die, bro.
Okay, I should rephrase that. There's personal fears, and what's your fear for the world? Like, what are we becoming? Are things getting better, or are we plummeting?
I'm so scared for the world. I think we're plummeting, but there's hope. Elon Musk gives me hope, but everybody besides him isn't doing shit. Like, I'm not doing shit for the world, you
IRL
know?
Tony Stark.
Yeah, fucking, yeah, like, technology keeps getting better and shit, which is cool, but scary at the same time, because, like, the whole AI stuff, like, and, like, the Neuralink shit is scary, fucking global warming, like, climate change, all that stuff is scary as fuck, like, I just feel like there's so many different scenarios where apocalypse or like the end of the world could be coming soon. But
Yeah.
also like I
It's
mean
like
there
the
is a
shit.
chance that it could be dope, right? Like
The shit's already hit the fan. We just need to see where it splats.
yeah, for sure. But it could still go back to like something like it was like we could just chill out and like if we do like terraform Mars and stuff, that'd be super sick. If we find a way like we don't have to die and we're just like colonizing all these planets and we can live for like thousands of years, that'd be so sick. I would love that because like I said before, I'm afraid of death. So I kind of love that like all this technology and stuff is happening because I would love it if they could just like come up with something that makes it so you like stop aging or like, you know what I mean, nobody gets sick and we're all just like chilling. That'd
I
be super
remember I
dope.
learned in biology, yeah, it's when your DNA is replicating, the telomeres at the end get kind of like snipped off. So over time, as your cells reduplicate and everything, the DNA gets shorter and hard. There's less to read at the end, and
Hmm.
that's kind of what causes aging. But I
Yeah.
like to tell old people that we're going to be the generation that solves aging. And they really hate that because they're so close to death. It's kind of a mean thing. If
That's
old people
so
are
funny.
ever if they're ever up your ass about something, just let them know that you're probably gonna live forever, or at least get some bionic parts, and they're fucked.
Yeah, I forget who I told, but I was like said the whole live for everything. They're like, oh, the TikTok generation gets to live forever. That's the worst generation. I think it might have been like Joe Vitello or something. Now that I'm saying it.
They have I have some faith in the next generation. It's been a couple generations of children like overprescribed attention medication and stuff.
Hmm.
I don't understand the fascination with watching like YouTube streamers.
Yeah,
I
like
know
the
a lot of
gaming
kids
shit.
who are
I was
more.
never into that either. Like watching someone else play video games like for
I always
hours
wanted
and
to play
hours.
with. I wanted to play with,
Yeah.
but a lot of these kids seem like they would rather watch someone else do it and do their really cheesy and like phony PG family friendly commentary over it.
Hmm.
I don't I don't understand that scene at all. I think a lot of those kids will grow out of it and, start doing stuff for themselves, but
One thing I watched that was sick, like for watching people play video games, is like the speed runs of like
okay, yeah.
Majora's Mask and shit. Have you seen those? They're fucking crazy.
I've definitely seen like Mario 64 where there's some glitch that shaves off like 85% of the game.
Yeah, exactly. There's different like
Yeah.
glitches and shit, and it's sick.
I remember watching one for it was either the first or second Fallout, the top down ones on PC way back, but it's like
Oh
an
shit.
11 minute no glitch run of Fallout. You can just walk to the final boss and slap him around.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That's wild. That's
hmm
crazy. Huh.
That's the world I want to live in.
So have you been doing comedy since like COVID and shit?
I've done one set at Levity, and
Uh,
it went pretty well. I was happy with it.
Nice, bro. Good shit. Good shit.
Did some new stuff that I had written during quarantine, and a couple of the I will generously call them classics of my own.
Nice, nice. I've
But
I've
the
been
stuff I've been peddling.
yeah. I've been doing Showtime every fucking week for like the past like month and a half or something. For
Have
the
they been
past like
getting
five,
crowds?
6 weeks. They were getting crowds when they first like reopened or whatever. And then it's been like dying out and stuff because like the numbers are like going up and stuff. I think
The numbers.
yeah, I think everything's gonna shut down again, man. It's like it's higher than it was when shit was shut down. You know, they're like higher than they've ever been.
I'm lucky that I work outside, so
Hmm.
I'm on my third week back to work since the foot breaking, and we work outside and so spread out from each other. We don't even have to wear masks. I have had to wear The masks are uncomfortable. I see why people complain, but
Hmm.
it when people freak out on like store staff or whatever over it.
Yeah.
That's so unacceptable. If I ever saw that in real life, I would shut the person down. Be like, the rules are so simple and it's easy to see why they're in
Mhm.
place. If you have a problem, just go.
Yeah, I was at Walmart today, and there was probably like fucking. It was packed. There was so many people there, and I probably saw like 5 or 6 people that just had no masks whatsoever. No one called them out or anything. I even saw one person that got the cash register paying for their shit, no mask at all. It wasn't even like at their chin or
Well,
whatever. They just didn't have one. But
they say that if you're medically exempt, you don't need to provide any proof. So I'm sure some people have
lots of
jumped.
people are just being like, and it does suck like wearing it. Like I do wear it, doesn't mind like 5 minutes, whatever. You're going into a store, and like I wear it for work too, like the whole time. But like when I'm wearing it at work, it does suck 'cause it like gets all sweaty and shit. You know, it's like wearing
Yeah.
it fucking 3 4 hours or whatever.
You just reminded me I meant to throw my mask in with my wash tonight and I forgot to. Oh well.
Oh damn.
I only have to use it to go get groceries or, if I have to step into some kind of store.
Yeah, whatever. You know.
Unfortunately, I have to wear it during my physio appointments though.
Mhm.
And last week for the first time he made me be jumping around and stuff, actually getting sweaty. And exercising in them is very uncomfortable. Like when you have to start breathing heavier.
Yeah, it sucks. Like now, it's like you almost always have to talk about it. I feel like it's like, it's like how you been, how you handling the quarantine and shit. It's like, at least I feel like every time I talk to someone, I'm like, COVID sucks.
Well, we can get off the topic.
Yeah, true. Let's fucking aliens, bro. You think aliens are coming soon?
Well, I feel like they've already been here. They haven't done much though. I think we're a lot more boring than we give ourselves credit for.
Right.
But I I think a lot of UFO sightings can be explained by other things more simply, like that it's the Chinese or Russians testing out military
Technology or some
technology.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah, some like stealth craft. Like
Yeah, look at the technology that we're exposed to and how crazy it is. Like the fact that we're
they
just
say
like
the
video
military,
chatting is crazy enough, right?
and mine's on a $40 cell phone.
Yeah, exactly.
But they say the military is like at least 10 to 15 years ahead technology wise than what the public has access to.
That's crazy. Huh.
Yeah. Like the internet was developed in the late 70s, I believe, as a military technology, and then the universities used it, and then by the 90s it was public.
That late, the 90s. That's weird because like I was born in 91. And yeah, it's like I remember just having like a shitty ass computer and
I'm
shitty internet
92,
games.
and yeah, we're the last generation where we grew up and we were kind of like the computer's in the house, yeah, but it'd be so easy to screw it up.
Yeah, we had like the shitty dial-up internet. You had to like disconnect
We've
the
had that
phone or
side,
whatever.
and now we have the high speed stuff, but it's
Yeah.
like we can handle it. we can drive cars, we can surf the web.
Yeah, it's like we grew up with the internet like at the same time together almost.
But now the kids right now are just born and a tablet is stuffed in their hands.
Yeah, they're born with the internet. It is already mature, where it's like we were babies when the internet was a baby. So it's like, it's cool that we have like that unique experience. And like when I was growing up, I kind of like had this feeling that like everyone kind of grows up that same way. Like I had a good childhood, but it's so weird that like everyone's childhood is like completely different, right? Like I was playing like Mario as a kid and shit, thinking that every kid got to play Mario as a kid. You know what I mean? But now they're playing some other stupid shit. And before me,
Okay.
like Mario didn't even exist or whatever, right? So it's like, it's just, I don't know, it's wild to think about.
I didn't get video games until I was a bit older, but I had a cousin who always had the newest stuff. So like he'd have an N64 right away, and I'd
Hmm.
want to go over and be like, "Can we play Super Smash Bros?"
Yeah, Super Smash Bros. Was the shit, bro. That was my fucking jam.
Hey, please don't use the past tense when talking about Smash Bros. Greatness.
Yeah, it is so great, but like I haven't played it in so long. I feel like I'd still be so good. Like the muscle memory would just kick in. Even like the newer ones, I'd probably crush. I kind
Yeah,
of like
I
stopped
played them
after
all.
the GameCube one though. I didn't really play the Wii one, or
The
I don't
GameCube
even
one
know
was the
what's out
best
now.
one. The best one I played was a mod for the Wii one that made it play like merely the GameCube one.
Oh, that's dope.
I won't
Okay.
get too into the nerd shit, but I played that a lot during university, and it's probably like a third of the reason I dropped out.
What character would you play on Smash Bros?
I play a lot of Ness, Yoshi, and Mario.
That's wild. I wouldn't expect that. So many people play Fox, right? And shit like that.
Oh
That's what
no,
I play.
and Fox is like high tier if you
Yeah.
know that stuff. Like to face a Fox against a Yoshi, I need to radically outplay them just to be even with them.
Yeah, just to even have a chance. Yeah. Yoshi. Yeah, like Kirby is
But
dope too. I liked Kirby.
the advantage to playing characters like Yoshi and Ness is because so few people play them. Not a lot of people know what to expect from them.
Mhm.
A Fox player who's only played against Foxes, Marths, and Falcos can get pretty dummied by a Jigglypuff he doesn't expect.
Oh yeah, Martha's crazy too. Fuck, I hated playing against Marth.
There's a real fluidity to that son of a bitch
Mhm.
if you can do all the short hop and everything and the L canceling wave dash. I know the game technically like down to the dot, so I could get
Damn,
almost
that's
boring in just
wild.
describing it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't really know it like that. I was very casual. I never played in like any tournaments or anything.
Well, and then I used to go on a lot of video game forums when I was a loser in high school, and all the video game fans would shit on Smash Bros. Saying it's not a fighting game, it's a party game. And I'm like, but it's a fighter too. You can turn the
Yeah.
items off.
Yeah, I liked it with items off a lot better, and like it is a fighting game. It's like it was so much better than some of those other fighting games in a lot of ways. Like
It's
um
really good for what it is. Simple,
mhm.
like simple gameplay that's done well, and
Yeah,
that's
that's
what
what
I
I
like.
like. I like simple shit that it's like not confusing.
Like the best game right now is Rocket League. It's so simple, just cars playing soccer,
Yeah, people love that
and
shit.
it plays so well. And that's another
Mhm.
one where it's like they've got the esports and people watch it and have a favorite team in it. It's like that is wild.
That's so funny, yeah. Yeah, I've never played it. I watched a bit of it because like my buddy Chronic Little Skip fucking streams that shit and stuff. He's
Okay,
dope. Yeah.
I think
Fucking
I'm
what other
sunburned from
games do you
October.
play, bro?
I play a bit of PUBG. My friends like Warzone better, so if they're all on, I'll go play that begrudgingly. I fucking hate it. I've played a lot of Metal Gear Solid. I like most of the Zelda games, and then Smash Bros. And Rock Band.
Oh,
I have
nice. Fucking I remember playing Guitar Hero and shit back in the day. It
I
was so
have
dope.
an electronic drum kit and the MIDI adapter to let that 8-piece kit work for Rock Band.
That's sick.
So I'll throw on some like ankle weights and wrist weights, and then that's like a whole workout. Just play that for a couple hours.
Damn, that's dope, bro. Fuck.
Yeah, that's good. That's gonna be my winter exercise routine. I'm pretty stoked for another lockdown.
Yeah, yeah.
I've got food in the cupboard now. I just moved, and this living arrangement's gonna work out a lot better for me.
Yo, do you have Netflix?
I canceled Netflix for Crave, and
Because
then
the
I started the
cuties? Because the
Amazon trial.
cuties came out?
You know, that was a fucking marketing disaster. Somebody's
Yeah.
better have got. My friends and I were discussing that, like when the banner first comes up on Netflix when it came out, like as a new release,
Hmm.
and people are rightfully disgusted at how the movie's described in that blurb. But I was immediately like taking devil's advocate, kind of, but like, you have to see the movie. Is it saying that that's like a glorifiable life, or is it pointing out the problems in those youth pageants, which absolutely do exist? Like, there's
Yeah,
no
but you
way
can
that.
point out the problems without like, because if you think about how fucked up it is, like they're like showing kids doing fucked up shit. You can point it out without making your own footage of that. So they had auditions, they had little kids
Yeah, no, I
doing
agree.
this shit, and then they're filming them like doing like it's so fucked up. I haven't watched it. I don't want to watch it, but I remember watching the ad for it before it came out, and I was disgusted by it. It was like.
Yeah,
Yeah, I get like
absolutely
what people are
bullshit
saying where it's
marketing.
like they're making a commentary on it or whatever, but it's like you don't need to fucking go that far. It's like you can say murdering people is bad. You don't actually go out and kill people. You know what I mean?
My one point would be there is there's no way that there should be more outrage over a movie on a topic than the actual subject matter occurring in real life. Like seeing human trafficking or genocide or something in a movie
Right, but you can be
is
mad
like,
at both. Like, it's not like you can just
yeah,
only be like, and
no,
it's
no,
like
for
they're
sure. But
giving
there's
these
degree.
people like shit to like jerk off to or whatever, these pedophiles.
I sure hope that nobody's turning to Netflix for that. That's sad because there's cheaper and more
Yeah,
thrilling
I never
alternatives.
paid for Netflix. It's funny, like no one cares anymore. Like after the cuties thing happened, whatever, people like they were all like cancel Netflix, and now it's like people are talking about what's on Netflix. Like everyone has seemed to move on, and yeah, I haven't paid for it no like ever, and I have like someone else's account that I've been using.
Okay.
And they haven't canceled theirs, so I'm happy. And I watched Bly Manor on there recently. It's so sick, dude.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's good.
I will resubscribe to Netflix. I kind of let the 4 or 5 shows I really like add new seasons, and then I'll
Hmm.
resubscribe, binge them all in
Oh,
a month,
that's
and then
smart. And then
cancel.
unsubscribe. Yeah.
Because there's no reason to be subscribed to 2 or 3 of them at once, and like
Yeah.
I'm
Like, if that's
digging
the
what's
thing is like
unpaid.
I miss all the shows on like Crave or Prime or whatever. Like I only have the one option, which sucks.
Life sucks though, man.
Mhm.
I was thinking like first world problems. Oh, I I want all 3 streaming services, even though people pay 10 times the cost of Netflix for monthly cable.
True.
Here's
That's
my issue.
crazy.
I've got 2 TVs here, if you can see them both, and they're both
Mhm.
Sony Bravia 31 inches. I got a really good deal on the second one, and the first one's lasted me like 14 years. But the TV remote operates them both, so I have to like if I grab the remote, I have to kind of like put my hand to the side so that the infrared is only hitting the one TV. That's my first world problem complaint. I have to get geometrically creative to like
That's
block the
hilarious,
high
bro.
one or block the low one from the volume changing. What a rough existence. Ugh.
Yeah. Well, like I think hopefully we should be there already, but hopefully soon we'll be at the point where it's like there's not tons of people like suffering in like shitty situations.
I
Um,
was you heard about in Hamilton they had a lot of like homeless tent camps downtown. They just started clearing them out, and the one along Ferguson Avenue I saw it was 2 weeks ago. It was all tents. Then last week it was all garbage left by them after they got removed, and now it's all like gangs of geese.
Wait, so they get removed? Like the cops just go in there and they're like, "Fuck off." What
Yeah, they
happens?
start. Well, the newspaper will say they started enforcing the bylaw. I don't know exactly how it happened.
Hmm.
I don't think it was like they marched in there with batons and beat them. I think they just
Right.
told them they have to relocate. And like it's
That
unfortunate that
sucks
a
for
lot of
them.
them.
Yeah.
It's even with stuff like I know there's at least one in Hamilton safe injection sites, but you see them interviewed on the news and they say they don't feel free at the shelters. They feel like they're being judged and they can't do what they want and need to survive. So it's unfortunate that they feel like the little bit of help society does try to provide them isn't going to work for them.
Hmm.
I would hope that we can find something more sustainable. I think like a shortage of affordable housing, and I don't housing is a right in my opinion. If you're gonna go
Yeah, me
socialist
too.
on anything,
Especially
it
like
should be
in
housing.
Canada, like people
Yeah, we have
fucking freeze to death, man.
inhospitable winter conditions for
Hmm.
choice.
It's fucking sad, man. Like I was binge watching this YouTube channel called Invisible People for a while, where this guy just like interviews homeless people,
Yeah,
and it's like so sad hearing their stories, man. It's wild. It's that's like another fear I have. You're asking what like. It would suck to be homeless. I'm scared of that, or just like be having no money, like no family, no friends, being in a situation like that
I
would
used
really
and
suck.
this it's kind of a shitty thought that I used to have, but I used around like I was in university time. And once in a while, if you're walking around, you're drunk and you're happy, and somebody asks for change, I'll give them a $5 or a $20 bill, and it's like
Hmm.
I feel good because I helped them out a little bit. After a while, though, like the first time you get hit up by like 4 people in a row, that's like upsetting, but it also kind of numbs you to it. And then I started doing things like I would fill out a McDonald's, 7 stickers for a free coffee, and I would write on the back of it, "cannot be redeemed for drugs." And I would give that to them. And I thought that was funny. It's kind of mean, and I'm still giving them a free coffee, but
Yeah.
you get disillusioned about what they're going to do with the money you give them, right? Or I know some people won't give out money, but they'll step into a shop and buy them a sandwich or something. I think that's
Right.
nice.
Yeah, like I guess like it depends. I don't know, like yeah, you never know, right? Like you could give someone like $20 or whatever, they could go spend it all on like heroin and end up ODing or something, and then you never know, and you felt like you did a good thing, but you did. But also, you could give someone
That's a
twenty
good point.
bucks and maybe that saved their life, and like they were able to fucking get a meal and the other like or
Or a
whatever
coat
place
at
to
Value
stay.
Village.
Yeah, exactly, or
Yeah,
whatever, you
no.
know. Um,
You definitely hope that anybody stuck on the street is in a position where they can do the things they need to survive. I also used to think too, and I mean, this is absolutely from like a place of privilege, but I'm pretty polite and have had decent connections through my life, and I haven't burnt a lot of bridges, I'd say. I'm many degrees away from being homeless. Even if I
mhm.
had like the worst falling out with everybody in my family and I lost my job, I have people who would let me stay with them, like
Right, yeah,
without a
same,
doubt.
luckily, yeah.
So I used to kind of think, well, if this guy's on the street, he must have every person in his life have burnt the bridge or destroyed, like deteriorated the relationship to the point where that other person would rather them be sleeping on the street than
Mhm.
to give them a roof for a week or something to help them get back on their feet. You can't just, it's a give a man a fish thing. Even if you just put a drug addict in an affordable housing, you haven't fixed all their problems enough to get their life on track.
Yeah, but everyone is like different, right? They might have never had someone their whole life or whatever, right? Like I seen
Exactly. Yeah.
like this invisible people shit, like he talks to people that were like homeless since they were kids, you know? And it's like they might have lived like 10 years and then and it's weird, like they even get numb to it, right? Where they say shit like, "Oh, it's not that bad," you know what I mean? And it's like you can tell just by looking at them that it's like they're suffering out there, right? But they become like numb and like tough to all the shit that's happening to them and the shit that they've been through.
To
Um,
clarify, I don't still subscribe to that mindset. I've thought much more on it, and I've had much more experience with people who are down and out.
mhm. Yeah, it's like we're lucky, and a lot of people are lucky and don't realize it that they have so many people that would take them in and help them if they needed it. Like I'm super lucky. I have like a big family on both sides. Like my dad has 6 siblings and my mom also has 6 siblings, right? So I have like
Oh boy,
fucking like a shitload of
oodles of
cousins.
cousins. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's like 20 cousins or 30 or something. I don't know exactly.
Good shit. What's like the age range? Probably like infant to adult.
Well, like now it's like my cousins are all having kids. Like I'm at that age where all my cousins are all having families and stuff of their own.
Buddy, we're
Um,
at that age where we shouldn't be surprised if we had a 5-year-old we didn't know about.
I'm pretty sure I don't. You might, but
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
got any kids. I don't think so. That would
You're a much
suck.
safe. You're a much safer man than I am, aren't you?
Yeah. I don't want any kids. You know, I feel like, you know, I don't know. I just like I feel like once you have a kid, your life stops becoming about yourself and it becomes about your kid, you know? And I'm like so selfish. Like I just don't want to like imagine like investing all this like time and money into like this person and they grow up and then they do something really shitty like murder their whole family or something. Like you know or
Or
whatever like
or stream Fortnite for a living.
yeah, and it's like, ah, fuck. You know what I mean? Like, that's probably what my dad's thinking. He's like, ah, fuck. It's like I spent all this
It
time
is.
and effort into this fucking retard, you know?
I mean, it is
Sorry
like
for
that
saying the R
ultimate.
word. Go ahead.
I'm personally not offended, but I understand we shouldn't do it.
I know, I like,
It slips. It happens. You acknowledged it.
yeah.
Um, Shit, I was about to say something.
That's one that I'm gonna miss. I love saying the word retard, but for some reason people get offended by it. So I'm trying to be PC, trying to be professional, you know.
Just use a different word wrong, like, oh, that's fucking dismembered.
Yo, that's sick. I like that. I hope that catches on.
I love,
Yo, that's dismembered, bro.
I,
That's
I just
sick.
thought of that. I love doing kind of the family-friendly expletives. I'll say like cheese and rice,
Yeah, yeah.
or
Instead
the
of
classic,
Jesus Christ, yeah.
yeah, or shut the front door.
Yeah,
That one I can
that's a good
come
one.
up with,
Or like
or
shiitake mushrooms. It's like shiitake mushrooms, yeah.
yeah. There's a lot of clever saves you have to come up with when you have a 3-year-old niece running around.
Right. Yeah, I just naturally swear a lot, and sometimes I get in shit for it or whatever. It's funny,
I'm
like,
good at
good.
I'm good at turning it off, whereas my brother and my stepdad will just swear loosely around, funding my niece's college education through that swear jar.
I've
I
gotten
can
Go ahead, sorry.
just sorry, I'm fairly good at turning it off depending
Yeah.
on who I'm around. Like if there's any old lady at the dinner table with us, I just like subconsciously turn into like really polite and maybe just shy of cordial.
Yeah, that's a good skill to have, and I feel like I've definitely gotten better as that as I've gotten older and excuse me, and doing comedy and stuff, right? Because I've had to do clean shows, which
I
sucks.
I
It's a
have
shitty
huge
feeling.
I have huge respect for like to do an entire clean 5 minutes.
Hmm.
Not that I don't like look down on crude sexual type humor. I do it a lot. I think it's a bit easier to get like a relatable laugh out of it. You have to get quite creative to make clean funny.
Yeah, and it's like with like the crude shit, it just gives you the freedom to go there if you want. You know what I mean? Where it's like the clean stuff, it's like you're put in a box of this. You're only allowed to say things that are inside this box, and yeah, I've done it a couple times. I was
I
even
do
on.
love
Go ahead.
I do love like when you can hide an innuendo in it, but
Mm,
use clean
right.
language to get a dirty idea through. I have big respect for that.
Hmm. Who are some of your favorite comedians, bro?
I love Norm Macdonald. I love Bo Burnham. I found him to be a big influence.
Yeah, I
Especially
love
like
Bo too.
I
Yeah.
watched him a lot when I just started getting into it. Who else? I loved Mitch Hedberg.
Same.
Jimmy Carr. I always forget his name in my
Nice.
list of favorite comics, but he's fucking great.
Yeah, he's so dope, bro.
Watched a lot of Carlin. I grew up watching a lot of like Jon Stewart, Colbert back to back on their shows.
Hmm.
That
Man,
influenced
we
me.
got like a lot of the same ones for sure. Like Mitch Hedberg for me is like number one. Bo Burnham's up there. Yeah, Jimmy
Sarah
Carr would like
Silverman.
fun.
They always get a great cast of comics for the roasts, and I understand the way I understand it is they don't all write their own jokes. They kind of like I'm pretty sure for a lot
I
of it they
hate that they
kind of
have
like
writers and shit. That's
yeah
bullshit. You can like almost feel that in a sense, but they must write their own jokes at least a little bit. Because I remember when
absolutely like Jesselnick and Jeff Ross they'll write their own stuff. They look like they write their own
yeah, but
stuff.
no, remember when the situation went on and he got like booed off stage or whatever?
That was one of the least comfortable things to watch in my whole life.
Yeah, that must have been him writing. Like, otherwise he would have had good jokes. You know what I mean? And like, and of course he had bad jokes because he's the situation. But like,
After I had seen that, I almost like changed my opinion on Jersey Shore. I was like, "Oh my god, this is a character," and he's like committed.
yeah,
I went,
I
there
felt
was like
bad for it too. And then I was like, okay, I kind of like him now that he like went through that. He knows what it's like to bomb on stage, like I do.
I feel again like Jeff Ross was there with them, and like it was nice that they tried to like pick him up and pat him on the back or whatever. He really needed
Yeah.
it, obviously.
Oh yeah, Jeff Ross went up and
But
like tried to rescue him.
it really made me feel like there's no way he could lack the, and pardon the pun, situational awareness to like think that stuff was gonna land. But
Yeah.
I mean, I have seen a lot of. I go for a couple of years, at least 2 or 3 amateur nights a week. I go check out, and so I've seen some pretty aloof characters. I just can't
Mhm.
believe he would think that was gonna land. So again, it made that, and I had seen some sort of like behind the scenes thing with the situation and one of the other dudes from the show that made me think, okay, they're in on it, and it's like a character bit. But I don't know.
Right.
Reality TV has kind of escaped me as a phenomenon.
Some people are like super delusional though. Like back to what you were saying with like you've seen comics
Yeah,
that are just like so bad, and it's like how do you even not realize that this isn't working? You know?
that's like my favorite thing about comedy is kind of that instant feedback. Like,
Mhm.
you know what you're after. You know exactly what the response to the room you want looks like, and they are either going to give it to you or they won't. And they're not on your side. They want to laugh at something
Yeah.
funny, not make you feel good.
Yeah, exactly. It does feel so good when you get like a fucking huge laugh. And
Yeah.
then it's like, okay, you guys get me, you know what I mean? You get where I was going with this or whatever.
And I've kind of, it's a skill you pick up, I guess, over time. And I've had a lot of more experienced comics like pointed out for me, but don't step on your own laughter. Give
Mhm.
if a joke is landing but slowly, take the long pause and let it sink before you start your next line. Because if somebody does like a loud laugh late in the like 5 words into the next setup, then that ruins that next joke.
Yeah, for sure. And I used to do that. Like a lot of comedians when they're starting out step on their own laughter hard. They're like rushing through their set.
Yeah,
And
it's a
I
nervousness thing too, and
mhm.
kind of you don't realize how long your 5 to 7 minutes is when you start. But
It is pretty
take
long actually. Yeah, you
take
got a lot of
take
time up
those
there.
pauses.
Mhm.
Of the way I write my notes is about a full size page of double spaced notes is 5 minutes.
Mhm.
But a lot of them it's like a tag for the joke, but there's words that are set up that I don't have to write down.
Right.
Kind of just kind of name the jokes. But if I have like 9 to 13 bullet points on the page, that ends up being about 5 minutes, or
Nice.
almost 20, like 25 to 30 seconds a piece usually.
Mhm.
I would love to get into longer form jokes. I don't think any of my sets have ever, even when I'm hosting, have ever felt like I'm up there just talking to the crowd. It all is like pretty prepared material, and I would love to get more
Mhm.
comfortable just free flowing it, because I had that show from July last year till March this year, the monthly at First Celtic Pub, Hamilton, Upper James.
Yeah, that's sick that you're running that, man. I feel like the more shows the better. I feel like they help each other. Like
Yeah,
you said that like you wouldn't want to open a comedy club because you wouldn't want to like step on Levity's toes or whatever. But I feel like if someone goes to your comedy club, it's not like they're going there instead of Levity. It's like they
no,
would
yeah,
go there and then they might start getting into comedy because of that, and then they might start going to Levity in other places. Like I feel
for
like we
sure.
need more of it, and I feel like we need like one in the falls. We had a couple like besides Yucks. Like we need a place that like amateurs can go in the falls. Because I feel
I'm
like with the
surprised.
tourists and everything, like you could get tourists to come to something like that. I think I don't know.
Yeah, I'm surprised that the casinos don't have any.
They have Yuck Yucks, so yeah.
Oh, okay, they probably have like a
But like
contract deal with
that's like
them. Yeah,
expensive, and like Yuck Yucks does do well, but it's like you know what I mean. They like only have pro nights. Like it's no,
yeah,
and it's only weekends too, right?
it sucks to think that that's the only game in town.
Yeah, it's like I've never been on Yucks, so like I go to St. Catharines, and I've done Levity once, I think, maybe twice.
Honest, I had done Yucks when that was what was in Hamilton 5 or 6 times over 2 years, the Am night, and then when it had become Levity, I go down there to hang out all the time, but I'd never actually gotten a spot until this pandemic one.
Hmm. I
But
think
that
there's
it's such a good club, great space.
there's like this alarm going off. I'm gonna pause this for 1 second. Cool.
Okay,
Pause.
not a
All
not a
right,
minute
we're
wasted.
back. We're recording again. Sorry, yeah, my parents like fucking alarm clock was going off for some reason, and they're like in their living room watching TV, so I ran in there, turned it
That's
off.
almost spooky. Oh, do you have any ghost stories?
No,
Are you like a hard skeptic on it?
yeah, I choose like okay, so I kind of believe like anything is possible. I feel like I'm really dumb, and I don't really understand like all of this could be fake, right? I even go to that. It could all be a simulation, whatever, but I
First year
choose
philosophy.
personally not to believe in ghosts because I don't like the idea that they're just like watching me jerk off and stuff, you know?
Fair.
So I say there's no ghosts because I don't know, it's fucking weird, man. I like the feeling of being completely alone. You know what I mean? I like to like go
Okay.
like chill in my room and just know I don't want to like be around other people all the time. If the ghosts are real and they're like around, then you're like never alone. And I don't know. There's
You
something like
atheist, you.
comforting about being alone, as weird as that is.
I think that if ghosts were real and just like floated around watching whatever they wanted to see,
Hmm.
uh, that you'd have to try to do something that disgusts them or puts them off. Like they see it all. You're probably not on the fringes of.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of like
Of the,
disgusting them or anything. I just like privacy. You know what I mean? Or like, it's like I don't want. Like I'm not afraid
but
of them like judging me. It's just like I don't want somebody
if
watching me sometimes. It's like fucking when I'm like
I
picking that
understand,
piece
but
of lettuce out of my teeth or whatever. It's like, or like if my butt crack gets itchy and I scratch my butt crack. I don't fucking know, dude.
it's like, yeah, you wash your hands right after, but you touch
Mhm.
the doorknob and the
Yeah,
faucet.
exactly. Yeah, you
Yeah,
always
yeah,
gotta wash your hands after you scratch your butt crack for sure. That's like the
and
only
wash your
time I
pants.
ever wash my hands. I don't wash them out, when I go pee.
I
I didn't
mean,
taking a
that's
shit. You gotta
valid.
wash your hands after you take a shit, obviously.
Yeah, I wash my hands after handling food.
Yeah. Well, I do
I'm
like
actually
before food. If I'm gonna eat a burger or something, I'm like, all right, I've been
if
touching
I work
nasty shit all day.
if I'm inside all day, I'll end up washing my hands probably like 15 to 20 times, just
Hmm.
naturally, even before the pandemic and everything. But for work, I do construction landscaping, and you don't really get that luxury.
Right.
So I'll go the whole day, my hands will be filthy, but there's something so satisfying about the end of a work day, just washing off like eight
Oh
hours of
yeah, I feel that
mud and
too for
grime,
sure. I've had
watching all
a
the button
lot of
go down the
random
drain.
jobs like that, so I know all about that.
That's satisfying. That's primal, buddy. That's like the
Hmm.
hunt. That's like
Fuck yeah.
waking up with the sunrise, bud.
Yeah.
Morning,
Yep.
morning wood pointing due north, like God intended.
Yeah, yeah. So like, do you believe in ghosts? Do you think they're real?
I was a like strong. I wouldn't even say skeptic. I was like a disbeliever. I was like, ghosts
Hmm.
are bullshit. It's made up. There would be scientific proof.
Yeah.
But I have had a couple weird experiences in the last few years that have pushed me kind of the other way. My
Oh
mom's house,
shit.
everyone in the house says it's haunted. One story they have that this isn't to do with like my belief, but they said that my mom, my stepdad, and my brother were all standing in the kitchen, and the toaster just like clicked itself down.
But that could just be like a malfunction that happened. Why would a ghost do that?
Oh, what? I mean, why would a ghost do anything? But the,
Yeah.
the the question is, what are the types of things that a ghost can do that
Right.
like interact with the corporeal world?
Hmm.
Here's one. So, and this could be explained by like sleep paralysis, anxiety, or something like that. Like I've looked into it a fair amount, but sometimes I'll be like laying in bed sleeping, uh, and it will feel like how it feels when a cat jumps up onto the bed and then kind of like
Hmm.
takes slow steps up along beside you. I've had cats my life, so I know what that feels like. There's no cats in my room when this happens, but it feels like that's happening, and then I feel like a pressure against me, like a cat is leaning against me. But again,
But
there's
instead
nothing
of
in the
ghosts,
room.
could it be like
That could
something
be in my
like?
head. That could
But oh,
just
no,
it's just
not
anxiety.
even. It could be real, but it could be like um another dimension or something like not necessarily ghosts. Maybe it could be technology. It could be aliens.
Well,
It could be
yeah, no,
like why does our brain jump to ghosts whenever like something weird happens. It could be
In
because
this
like, go ahead.
in this situation, I would use ghost, spirit, demon, potentially even alien visitor interchangeably. It's some
Right.
mysterious and for sure invisible and probably capable of some sort of teleporting or phasing through material, right? Like
Yeah.
that's what you think it is.
One thing I always go back to is like we only have like these certain things that let us sense stuff. Like you have eyes to sense like light, nose for smell or whatever. But there might be other shit going on that we can't sense. Like if we didn't have ears, we couldn't hear. And we could still exist without hearing, you know what I mean? Like we could go around just looking at stuff, smelling stuff. So like what if we had like other tools to like there's things going on that we don't realize, like radio waves, you know what I mean? There's
Oh
radio
yeah.
waves going on that we don't sense and shit like that. The Wi-Fi signal or whatever.
Oh yeah. No, I took grade 12 physics, so that the electromagnetic spectrum, the colors that you see reflected back at you are it's like such a narrow slice of the frequencies of waves bouncing around.
Right.
Infrared, X-ray,
Hmm.
microwaves all get smaller, but then like UV rays,
Yeah,
luckily,
there's like the other
luckily
direction,
they,
yeah.
yeah, they go bigger and smaller, and luckily UV rays mostly get blocked off by the atmosphere, or this
Hmm.
planet would have a lot more radiation going on.
Fuck, man. Everything's so crazy. Like I just feel so dumb when I try to like comprehend like anything like with quantum physics or like because like the
Sad.
rules change when go ahead.
You you are dumb. You're a
I know,
partially
thanks,
shaved
buddy.
primate,
Yeah.
but you're fucking lovable.
Thanks, buddy. You're lovable. God
I read
damn.
a I read an article and it was saying one of the most like dangerous ideas that we teach kids is that there's five senses. When I mean there's five
That's
like those five major senses that you interact with the world with, but there
mhm.
things like sensing up and down, like which way pressure is going.
Right.
Um, you can
Huh.
and you can kind of combine senses too. Like yeah, you hear like sound goes into your ear as a vibrating air, and yeah, you translate it into some sort of pitch
And
within your
like
brain.
I think that there
But
was like I don't know if this
you
is
hear a
true. Go ahead.
you hear a sound in a distance, and because you have two ears, your brain kind of triangulates and can like it's not just
Hmm.
receiving a binary signal, am I hearing sound or not? You can locate based on the direction and how much later the sound is hitting your left ear than your right. Then you can
Yeah,
say,
that's
oh, it's
crazy.
coming
Yeah.
coming
Hmm.
from an angle. Your brain is doing
Hmm.
all these like subconscious calculations if it
Yeah, it
works
is
right.
sick that you don't have to manually do that. Imagine you had to. How like much work it'd be. It's like all the things that like practice really does make perfect. Like all these people that want to become good at comedy, it's like anything else. You just got to go out and do as many shows as you can. And it's like
I
practice fucking make and like try new shit. Like don't get stuck in a
yeah
rut of doing the same joke 1,000 times. Well, you can if you want to make that joke as good as you can,
yeah.
but then you only have that one joke.
I think comedy is really interesting because it is like a blend of a bunch of different skills. I've
Mhm.
seen
Oh, for sure.
like I have zero background. I think I did emceed one thing in my life before I did my first stand-up set. I have no background in like stage presence and stuff like that. I'm not a performer,
Hmm.
but I like writing funny jokes, and I've liked that for a long time. And so you'll see, especially at amateur nights, people who are way better performers but not strong writers, or their writing is really good but they kind of go monotone or something. There's so many different skills coming into it, and
Hmm.
what's really gonna weed people out even more so than like, uh, I mean, if you can objectively measure if somebody's funny or not, would be like your willingness to try it again after a night goes bad. To
Yeah.
eat to eat a bomb is difficult, and that's what
Hmm.
people are afraid of when they're even thinking about doing comedy.
I feel like I
And
bombed like half my shows, bro. You
I
know, or like at least a third. I think I bombed like probably like a third of the time, maybe.
it's good. Hey, you run back to it with a shit-eating grin and your arms wide open.
Yeah,
I probably my first three shows I think all went fairly well. Like I was received
same.
well.
Yeah, well, no, like
And
the
then,
first show went really well, but go ahead.
but then to bomb after, you're like, oh my god,
Hmm.
this silence is like knives. It's like
But
a wall of silence and
but you're
just
probably
stares.
thankful that you did well the first time, right? Because then that made you think
Yeah.
you were good
Well,
enough, so you did it again, which is what happened to me. It's like that first time I thought I did good. It was so long ago now, but like I remember going well, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, I can do this."
if
And
you
then I,
bomb your first one and then come back to it, you should get a fucking plaque
yeah, for sure.
because that must be rough. That probably is
Yeah,
worse than doing well the first one and then bombing.
yeah. It's
Oh,
tough, man. Like I got a buddy of mine that fucking he does a bunch of edgy shit. He's only done it a couple times, and then he did a bunch of edgy shit, and people didn't like it. And I was like, damn.
like is that like
It's like you
Bo
have a
Burnham's
fine
got a
line.
really good quote. Uh, if it's more funny than it's offensive, then you can do it.
I
The
like
joke
that. That's
itself,
a good quote. Yeah.
yeah. If the joke is well structured, like
Mhm.
I I don't go near the stuff myself,
Yeah.
but I've heard rape jokes that it's like, oh, that's funny. There's a funny logic to it. Not that, but the punchline of the joke can't
Mhm.
be, and then they got raped, or like homosexuality can be
Right.
the theme of the joke, but the joke can't just be, oh, that's gay.
The problem with like rape jokes or whatever is like the victims are still alive. That's why like murder jokes are okay, right? No one cares about murder jokes. but
I,
like but like the rape jokes, and it's like bring saying like rape like might bring them back to that like traumatizing time or whatever, right? So it's like that's their whole issue with that. I think like I try to stay away from the rape jokes too, but like I kind of had one that I was trying to say or whatever. I don't think I ever said it on stage, but I thought for some reason I thought it was funny where it's like talking about COVID is like a rape joke that we can just like all relate to. I don't know why I thought that was funny, but because it's like fuck it,
I mean, you're
it's
playing on the
traumatizing
fact
for
that
all of
it's,
us.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. It's trauma. Your joke isn't that somebody got forcefully assaulted.
which is
So
so
here's,
fucked up, right? But like that's the thing is like
could I give an
to
example of
make
one that I used to like? It's an
okay,
old
yeah,
four, it's an old 4chan joke, and so the image is like some woman in the snow naked, and it's like you're hiking through the woods and you come across a woman who's on the ground. She's scared and her clothes are ripped and she needs help. She says, "Sir, can you please help me?
hmm
I've been raped and left out here, and I don't know what to do." It's just questions like, so what do you do next? And the first comment is, check my map because I've been walking in circles.
oh my god.
So the actual, if you break down the joke, which instantly makes any joke not funny anymore, it's the, I guess, she didn't recognize him, but
Yeah.
he also is kind of, he's a heinous monster, but he's aloof and
And like it's the
got
classic
lost himself.
misdirect, right? It's like your
Yeah,
brain gets tricked where it's like something happens that you didn't expect. So it's like you didn't, and it like clicks together like that, and it's funny, you know. Um,
I think because it goes in the first person, I get it kind of puts the person in the shoes, and they are obviously not going to think that it was
right.
them.
And
So
like the
yeah,
way I like to deal with like the most fucked up shit that I see that makes me the most sad is I try to laugh about it, right? So like that's why I've like those like dark humor like has like resonated with me a lot, and like that joke that I just posted on my channel. Did you watch it? Like the murder your whole family pussy shit.
no, not yet.
Oh, you should watch it, bro. I just posted it. But it's like so like I watched this documentary, right, on Netflix about this guy that like was cheating on his wife and shit, and she's got two like young daughters, and his wife was pregnant, and like he like just killed them all because he wanted to be like with this other girl, right? Uh So it's like it's so fucked up, right? It's like the saddest fucking shit. And like I was like fucking I watched a bunch of YouTube videos like about this guy and shit. It was just so sad, and I was like it made no sense to me, you know what I mean? Like so like to deal with that, it's like I just wrote a joke about it and it fucking killed. I'm not gonna release it here. Go watch it.
Yeah.
It's called American Murder. Or yeah, so the video that I posted is called My Joke About American Murder, The Family Next Door.
Link in the description.
Yeah, maybe I'll post it, yeah. But
Or
basically
it's
it's like
probably the immediately adjacent video to this one on your channel.
mhm. But yeah, the whole point is I feel bad for the girl with the murder your whole family pussy. Like that must be her pussy must be so good if it makes you like murder your entire family. It's so fucked up, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know why that's funny, but it killed. And like I was like afraid of even saying that because like it's and like I even said this other part where they're like there is no murder your whole family dick out there because like no I can't imagine like a woman doing this. Like imagine the opposite where a girl was like cheating on her husband with this guy, so she like killed her whole family to be with him. Can
My
you ever imagine
imagination
that happening?
my imagination for the lows that people will go to knows no bounds.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe it has happened. I guess it is possible that it's happened and we haven't heard about it.
I've heard enough
Hmm.
stories of women like drowning their own kids or something to not put it past the world.
Oh yeah, there is a lot of fucked up moms out there, which is so sad. That shit like makes me more sad than anything. Like fucking, uh, for some reason, like aborting a kid doesn't make me that sad. But like once it's born, if you like kill like a baby or young kid, like
I
that's
mean,
the saddest shit in the world, bro. Or like
I'm
hurt
I'm
them in
with
any way.
I'm with the science on that
Mhm.
like sentience in life hasn't started even remotely by 21, 22 weeks. So any abortion between that is no more murder than jerking off is.
I feel like you're still even jerking off. We're murdering them and like abortions. I think it's murder, but I just don't feel bad. I think it's okay.
I think, I mean, murdering and not going
Yeah,
through with a potential life
yeah,
are slightly different. Like if when you
that's a really
blow
good point. Yeah.
a dandelion and if half of the little floating seeds land on the pavement and then they're no good, that you didn't murder them. They just didn't all come. We like I mean
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
every time you shoot a load, it's billions of sperm going at once, and there's only the chance for one or maybe a couple
Hmm.
to fertilize the egg if you're gonna get twins.
How sick would it be though? Like we get to the point of like technology where they just like they need tons of people to populate all the planets. We're going like all over the solar system. So they're like,
Hey,
okay,
planets
we're
or
gonna
having
take every one of your sperms and make a person out of it, and we all
like
get like millions of kids. Wouldn't it be sick to see like all the different versions of yourself that could happen?
that would be kind of cool.
That'd be sick
I
as
mean,
fuck.
you could what do we have 23 chromosomes that we pass down.
Yeah. It's so lucky that like we even exist, you know what I mean? Like that I feel it was so weird, like I denied like other millions of sperms their chance and I was like, fuck you.
You're the winner.
Yeah, exactly. We all won some lottery or whatever, you
Yeah.
know?
So nobody who exists can say they've lost everything in their life.
Yeah, they got to live, you know? They got to but I mean like I don't know, man. Fucking it's like fuck, life is weird. It's a trip.
Oh, buddy,
The whole
it's a
thing
trip,
is a
and we're
trip.
still tumbling.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Fuck,
no,
man.
I'm going back to school in January to finish philosophy, and that's all just big questions, big
Nice.
old
I love
questions.
philosophy. Bro, that there's one big question that like I've struggled with is like, do you
Let me
even
try and
have
help.
choice, bro? Like I forget
Oh, free
what
will.
philosopher this was that talks about, but it's basically like all the choices you make, like you made them for a reason, right? It's like either like how you're raised or like your genetics or whatever, you know, like it can all if you know enough about a person, you can predict
Yeah.
everything they're gonna do. Kind of like the movie like The Game. I don't know if you've
Okay.
seen that.
Yeah, yeah. So you're talking about hard determinism, where even things like the state of your brain at any given time, the electrical impulses can only go a certain way, and
Right.
everything is basically like a series of dominoes that were flipped from the first event. For
Yeah,
to claim something like God is omniscient and knows past, present, and future requires that the future is already set, right?
right, for sure, yeah.
Yeah. I'm on the fence of of that. I lean a bit more towards so that would be I think monoism, where the whole universe is made up of one stuff. It's matter. Like even your brain, as complex an organism as it is still just the same building blocks as everything else and works mechanically, right?
Yeah.
Like if you knew, like you said, if you know all of the factors going into any situation, there's no such thing as randomness.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm kind of on the other end where I think that there is something special about consciousness, and I listen to like the
That's
Sam
what I
Harris
like to
podcast.
believe too, yeah, but it's
Yeah,
conflicting.
and
Yeah.
because it's conflicting because there's so little that you can say about it in a concrete way. We know that consciousness is somewhat mysterious, and it feels like you're kind of behind your eyes, right? Like you feel like you're in
Yeah,
yourself.
I say that same thing. That's so sick you said that. I always say that. It feels like I'm behind my eyes. I've never heard anyone else say that before.
Oh,
That's
but
trippy,
like
dude.
the end of high school, me and my friend would just get so stoned and talk about things and think we understood the world so well. But there's
That
always
was
more
trippy though.
bigger questions.
Hmm.
But I'm of the sense that things like your consciousness, your dreams, it's on some kind of different plane. And whether or not there's like some people like to believe that sort of like under the surface of the universe is all one connected plane and that we're all one existence. I think that's a bit cheesy. At the
I
very
wouldn't like
least,
that. I don't want
at
that to
the
be true, yeah.
the collective, there's lots of scary
Hmm.
sci-fi about that sort of thing, like the
Yeah. We're
what do they
just like the
what do they call it?
universe interacting with itself, and like,
Yeah,
have
I
you
mean
heard that
that is
before where
true.
it's like
Yeah,
you get reincarnated like over and over and again and you live as every single person in every
yeah.
single bug or whatever?
Well, have you? Here's a nice mind bender one. The brain is the only thing to ever have named itself.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. That's
But
funny. That's a good one
you can
liner, yeah.
pull it back. You can pull it back. The universe is the only thing to ever have named itself as well.
Oh, true. That's crazy. Yeah.
So then you
If
can do
you're,
some.
yeah, we're part of the universe. Wow,
Oh
that's
yeah,
deep.
that
Damn.
that much is undeniable. Even like
Hmm.
Descartes, I think therefore I am. If everything outside of you is debatable, then you just are the universe.
Word. Man, I gotta fucking rock a piss. If you want to keep talking, I'm down. Or we can just
Yeah,
end
hit
it here.
pause. I'm gonna
All
fill up
right,
my
cool. I'll
water.
pause it.
What
Dope.
time are we at? Yeah, Mom, you can continue watching now
Perfect.
if that's
Man,
how it works.
I want to keep talking about like philosophy shit. I was liking that. What do you
All right.
think about like the whole like Buddhist thing where it's like they think our whole reason to be here is just to suffer, like life is pain and the whole you reincarnate over and over again until you can get out of the cycle. I think that's what they believe, right? Something like that.
I'm gonna preface with I'm not an expert in any Eastern philosophy, but from what I understand about like Buddhism, meditation, and all that is you train yourself to kind of take less stake in your own existence. Sorry. Um, you observe emotions instead of well, I mean, you'll feel them too, but if you observe it and you kind of let it, and I'll try not to go too much into like metaphors, but let it flow past you in the river. So you let go of things. You don't take things personally because the universe is just like a bunch of marbles bouncing off of each other. You getting like, for example, screwed over by somebody else isn't necessarily their intention. It's just a side effect. So when you hold on to something like anger, you're just prolonging the suffering rather than you could just observe the suffering and then move on to your next thought and feeling. I
Right.
think that's a really useful way of combating. Obviously, in your day-to-day life, the classic proverb that the squeaky wheel gets the grease. You take notice of your problems more than anything because that forces you to confront and solve them, right? Like,
Hmm.
if my foot hurts because I broke it, then I need to stay off of it for a while and let it heal. If my stomach is growling because I'm hungry, I got to go get food.
Right. And
The-
moderation is key, I think, is another thing, Buddhist thing, which I really like. It's like everything in
That's good advice for
moderation.
everybody. Yeah,
Yeah.
you
Don't
can
do
notice in this
anything to.
lighting. You can
Pardon?
notice in this lighting a little bit better. I got a bit of an infection in my eye.
Oh fuck,
It's like
bro.
swollen. They call it
Yeah,
a sty, I guess.
that sucks, man.
Um, I'm surviving.
Yeah. It could be worse, bro. It could always be worse.
Yes. This is something kind of funny I thought about while I was off work and injured. Is it's always great, and you even hear the advice is like, if you're sore somewhere, bite the inside of your cheek. Does that fix it? No, but now you're sore there, so you'll think about that for a bit.
Yeah.
But somewhat of a tangent from that is just a shout out comedy is my favorite thing is that when people are laughing and like enjoying the what's going on in front of them, they're not thinking at all about the other problems in their life. Like it all goes away.
Yeah, it really is like the best medicine in a way. I feel like that same way with music a lot, where it's like
Yeah, oh yeah,
it can like
music is
totally change my
magic.
mood, right? Where it's like, yeah, same with comedy. It's like something someone says is like, then I'm just like, what I really like about some comedians is like they don't necessarily have like relatable content, but they like put me in their shoes, you know? They make me feel what it's like to be them, and it seems relatable even though they're talking about their life and something that I've never dealt with, you know?
Yeah. Oh, that's a good skill to kind of transfer the experience and the point of view to the audience.
Mhm.
Especially if you're talking about like absurd and niche things that not everybody would get.
Yeah, exactly.
It's because it's like that skill is walking a line because everybody has seen somebody drop a reference that nobody in the room gets, and it just flattens the mood.
Mhm.
But when you're firing all shots and everything's landing, it's great. A couple, if I can shout out a couple guys, I love the way Kev Sheeler can do it.
Yeah, I like Kev Schiller. He's funny, man.
Yeah,
I haven't
oh
seen him in a while.
that guy's a gem. I haven't seen him since I guess he's staying safe. I guess you
Yeah.
know the people you have seen aren't staying safe
No, it's hard to stay safe, man. I've been doing comedy shows like at least once a week, right?
because you
And
just
it's
want to fuck and make people laugh. Not necessarily about the first thing.
not necessarily in that order, yeah. um, but yeah, I just feel like the need to like live my life and like actually like go out every once in a while. It's like that has an importance too, you know, like where it's like suicide rates are way up or whatever. So you got to take care of your mental health and like,
Oh yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like you can go out for a drink or go out for dinner every once in a while, and it's like you
Well,
shouldn't feel
summer's
guilty
ending.
about that.
Summer's ending. There was no
Mhm.
guilt to like going for a hike or a bike ride and
Mhm.
staying distance, but now that's gone, and winter really does bring people isolated. But
Even
also
more.
when you're together, it's much closer quarters. Like that's what flu season is.
That's a really good point. Yeah, it's like that kind of really sucks. The summer's ending, and it's like, because I was actually like going for hikes and shit a little bit. You know what I mean? And
That's my
it
favorite
sucks
bit.
not to have that option. Like, I mean, you can still do it in the winter, but like, it's just not as fun, man. You're gonna like,
Well, I was off 2 months with the broken foot, so I like literally had it taken away from me halfway through summer.
fuck, that sucks, bro.
And I was probably in the best shape of my life, biking like 20 kilometers 3 times a week. And now it's
Damn.
like a strain to bike across the mountain.
Fuck, that sucks. Oh yeah, and yeah, you live in Hamilton, so like the mountain is there. That's probably fun to bike up and down that thing, eh? Or
Oh
it
yeah,
used to be.
I know some great trails. I'm getting back to it. I might not be
Nice.
able to like mountain bike again till spring, but
Mhm.
I'm I'm confident it'll be a full recovery. At Thanksgiving, I said I was grateful for mobility, and I'm not about to take that back.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Have you done like any of the Zoom shows at all?
I did one Zoom show like very early on, probably in
Mhm.
like April, and I didn't like it very much. But I've done
Mhm.
a couple like video conference workshops, which were very interesting.
Oh, cool.
I like that.
Huh.
You really don't need to get together in a room to do a writer's workshop. You just so this guy he'll assign a topic, usually like 1 or 2 word topic, and he gives it to you 6 or 7 days before the meeting. You write 3 minutes of material on that. You all go around doing your 3 minutes, giving each other feedback, and then you can do 3 minutes of whatever jokes you want to work on and get around the feedback.
Oh, that's sick, actually. So it's like kind of like you get input from other comedians about like maybe tags you could add or whatever.
Oh, absolutely.
Huh.
And it's like they're comedians from. One tricky part is I'm so used to doing just Hamilton comedy. I have jokes that like make local references, and you really have to
Yeah.
strip that out because I had a guy from Seattle, a girl from Texas,
Mhm.
so it's a very diverse and like wide-ranging uh, panel. So that's also very interesting. You can get different perspectives that way. Aren't you
Mhm.
sick of performing for just a room of white dudes?
I've never really like done that, like worked on my jokes with other people, you know? It's like mostly just fucking I try to like work them out on stage even, you know? It's like
Yeah, I mean, you cannot know how a joke is going to be until you've tried it on an audience.
mhm.
But and then every audience is different. A joke that kills one night could go flat another.
Yeah,
There's so
I've
many
had that
factors to
happen
it.
many times, yeah.
Yeah, I would say it's if you like a joke, it's not worth throwing it out.
Mhm.
Keep reworking it, retrying it until it's something somewhat consistent. I myself, I have a couple ones where it's like I can kind of keep them in the back pocket. It's a consistent hit. If like a couple jokes in a row don't get the response I want, you pull one of those out.
Yeah, that's what I would do too. Yeah, for sure. Um
It's I mean it seems like a compromise, but the crowd is definitely there's a momentum to it, and if you do something that you're more confident delivering and you kind of get them back on your side,
yeah,
then
you
that could
can
really
definitely lose the crowd. Like I've had it happen to me a bunch of times and it sucks seeing it happen, like you feel bad or like even noticing yourself doing it to a comedian, right? Where it's like if they're just like bad at the beginning and I'm just like, oh man, I hate this guy. You know, it's almost impossible to recover from if they dig themselves too
yeah
deep in that hole, and then they could say the most hilarious shit and get no laughs because they were unfunny for like the first 3 minutes or whatever.
yeah attention is almost more valuable than the laughs
Mhm.
because you won't get the laughs if they're not paying attention.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
I I think I find a good balance if I'm at like a local show and I've seen 5 of the comics. I get really excited about the one I haven't seen. So even if I
Mhm.
don't think they're that great for the first couple, I'll pay attention to their whole set so I can. I mean, once I started hosting my own show, the fact that I have to book people and I want to have a good variety of comics in
Mhm.
my little black book. Uh, but I'm more likely if I'm gonna pull out my phone at any time, it's gonna be a guy who I know is like consistently funny, but I've just seen them already 6 times this year. There's probably not new jokes that I haven't heard.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
that's when I would pull out my phone or go get another drink. But I pay pretty close attention to people who I don't recognize.
That's like what is really motivating me to start writing like new jokes, like, and I want to start doing it all the time is because like for the show I just did, it was like half the crowd was comedians, right? So they've
Yeah,
all seen my jokes before, and it's like,
that's
well,
Canadian comedy.
that's half the audience that's not gonna laugh, you know, or they're not gonna laugh that much because they've seen these jokes so many times. So if I do new jokes, even though they're not as good as my old jokes, they'll kill way more because they're for the whole audience. You know, the whole audience hasn't seen it before, and all these
That makes
comedians that have been expecting to see my old shit now get excited about me again, right?
one nice thing is if you're trying out a new tag on an old joke and then you get a comic to laugh at that feels
Hmm.
good because it's like they had the faith to listen and they got the reward and they noticed it was
Yeah,
different.
they got the reward. Yeah.
Yeah, oh no, don't sell
Hmm.
yourself short. If you make people laugh, you did them a favor.
Yeah, and it's good to keep like building your repertoire or whatever, right? Like I did it for years so long, only doing like the same 5 minutes or maybe 10 minutes, two different 5 minute sets. Look at you go. And like, you know, and I like now maybe I have like half an hour, 45 minutes or something over like four or
If you
five
did
years
yeah
of doing
If you
comedy. I
did,
should have way more time by now. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't look at it like that. Also, I'm starting to realize that, like, I wrote all my jokes out into a book, like into one book to have, just to kind of see how far I've come and like how much there actually is to pull from. And there's maybe 40, 45 minutes of jokes there, but to be able to put them together in a coherent way is a whole different thing.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
a 15-minute middling set is not just lining up 3 of your 5-minute sets.
Hmm.
I want to have, you want to have a couple longer form things. Then like that joke was so long that you can do a throwback to the one before it in the one after it, and it feels like it's been forever ago.
Yeah, that's what I find. Like how we were talking earlier, where it's like a joke can like kill or it can like completely miss. It's like the placement in the set is important a lot of the time. Where it's like if I'm doing like one-liners, 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 and then all of a sudden I switch to a story, it gets less laughs than if I just would have started with the story because they're like expecting a one-liner and I'm like confusing them or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I had for a while like very my my 5-minute set would be very punch heavy.
Hmm.
Like almost every sentence there's a laughable line on, and that can really throw the momentum if, like you said, you try to shift it to something longer form.
Hmm.
I'm sure there's expert ways to transition it and segue it, and that's just all part of the learning
Hmm.
experience. But I'm hoping to get to go to the John Doerr show at Levity because he's one of my favorites. He's
Yeah, I
great.
love him, man. Like when I saw you at Levity that night, Dan
Yeah,
announced John Doerr and no one cared and I was the only one that cheered. I felt like a fucking idiot. He's like, John Doerr is gonna be here and I was like, woo! And like no one else fucking clapped or anything. And I was like, what, nobody knows John Doerr? Like what the fuck is going on?
well, that's like they say. Norm Macdonald's a comedian's comedian,
Hmm.
though he's acted in a lot of the Sandler shit, so he's
Yeah.
recognizable, but his stand up is a little, it's weird for sure. And I love him.
Yeah, fucking it's funny, a
He's got great
comedian's
delivery.
comedian, because like comedians are usually like the worst audience members. They're always like talking in the back and shit. You know?
I mean, no one's ever come up to me and said to knock it off, but I'll
Mhm.
say woo at, at inappropriate times, like
Yeah.
because
I just
they
got
lose.
divorced. Woo!
Yeah, no, that is
Yeah.
exactly it. And sometimes the comedian will like
Mm-hmm.
then address that and get a laugh, which
Mm-hmm.
like is kind of a boost to them. Sometimes they're just like, "Oh, I didn't didn't expect that to get cheered."
Yeah.
It's never disrupted a set or
Hmm.
anything, but I've seen a lot of comics work off of it effectively.
Whenever a joke goes super bad for me, I always go, that's my best joke, you guys. That's my favorite joke, or something like that.
Okay.
And then that'll get a laugh, right? And then if
Yeah, yeah.
another joke bombs, I go, "That's my second favorite." You know?
No, I did an open stage one time where just they let anybody on, and I
Oh,
did.
that's sick! I would love to do a show like that, or be
There was
see
one of
that.
those in a coffee house in Hamilton, and
Mhm.
it started in like February, and so it shut down in March.
Oh my god,
Naturally,
yeah,
it was weekly too. Weekly, go up, show up.
that's sick.
Absolute greatest to go practice jokes. But the one night there, I brought out a poem. I write a lot of poetry.
That's dope.
I write raps too.
Shit, I used
But
to battle rap, bro. Fuck, have you seen any of my battles?
I'm gonna have to take a deep dive into your YouTube channel after this
Yeah,
call.
well, no, they're not on my channel, cause like with battle rap, it's dumb like that, but like they all just like the league puts all the videos up or whatever. So like my rap name was Sabotage. It's like sabotage spelled with an O instead of an A. And then you have to click like yes, I
Wait,
meant sabotage.
is there something to get there? Is that like a pun that's escaping me?
No, fucking I was just dumb when I was younger and I spelled sabotage wrong. That was like my rap name.
What? Oh my god. Okay. I dig it.
Yeah, but like some of them have like over 1,000 views and shit. They get
Mr.
more views
Sabbath
than my
typo.
videos get now, which is depressing as fuck.
Hey, with time.
I know, with time, buddy. Hmm.
I have a recurring joke. I do one about dropping out of university, and then I say, "Thanks, that's my most expensive joke so far."
That's actually hilarious. That's my most expensive joke. That's funny. Now you have to write a joke about your foot getting fucked up, and then that can be like your most physically damaging joke.
Yeah.
You know that joke cost me the most. I don't know.
The doctors told me I would never do stand up again. They lied.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. There's gotta be something there, something. I feel like you can just like make a joke of anything. It's like this
Oh
pool
yeah.
of like that we just have like so much to draw from. Where it's like puns, it's like you can only make like a lot of people think of the same puns and stuff because there's only so many possibilities. So when I
Yeah,
think of
but
one
you
that
can
has never
apply it
been done,
differently. Like my hip hop, I think my raps are good in terms of I use not cliched puns, but common phrasing cleverly. You can always wrap something in new context, which is cool.
right? Yeah, that's true. What's your rap name, bro? You got a rap name?
I juggled a few things around. I tried what was it? Like MC Buddha gone. I think I'm just gonna go with my gamer tag handle Maximum Butter.
Nice. I like that. Maximum Butter. That's a good rap name.
Yeah, but like
Hmm.
how much butter would you like on your toast, sir? As much as you can get on it. Please soak it.
Oh man,
Pretty much just sprinkle some breadcrumbs in the stick of butter and hand it to me.
I remember seeing this one rap battle. It was against this English guy named O'Shea, right? And like he was like, "You're so fat, you butter the top and the bottom of your toast." And then he rebutted that, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm so fat, I also butter the sides." And I was like, "Yo, that's so good, dude."
And then you put it in a pan and you fry it from every fucking
Yeah,
angle.
imagine also buttering like the crust on the and then you fry it from every angle. God
That's
damn. Now I'm
oh,
hungry, bro.
we're talking 4-dimensional grilled cheese, motherfucker.
Yeah, what? Yo,
Sick.
do you watch Rick and Morty?
I do. Did you watch Clone High?
Yes, I loved Clone High, man.
That's a
So
great
good.
throwback show. I hope they do more
So
of
good.
that.
I heard something about like a possible reboot or something. I don't know what's going on, but that would be sick. Um,
Those are the guys who went on to do like Scrubs and the Lego movie.
oh really? That's
Yeah.
dope. Okay, so like, cause I was so sad that like Clone High got canceled, so it's good to know that they went on to do other stuff and
Yeah,
still
no,
be successful.
they're very successful.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Fucking yeah, and Clone High like has a cult following now. It's like it was no one liked it when it came out for some reason, but now it's like people love it.
Well, no, a lot of people had problems with the portrayal of Gandhi, and I almost don't blame them. But it's so like
Gandhi's
absurd.
hilarious in that though.
Yeah,
He's actually such a funny character. He's
not
nothing
Gandhi.
like the real Gandhi, but neither
Yeah,
are
no,
any of the other characters. Like
exactly.
yeah.
Maybe Cleopatra. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, actually, yeah. If any of them, that's probably the closest one. Or maybe Joan of Arc too.
For supper, Ira,
Oh,
want a
that's
party platter?
JFK impression. That's the best.
Yeah.
Why? That's
Whoa,
so
whoa,
fun
what?
to do. Why
Whoa,
are
whoa,
on?
what's your hurry? Throw some ers and ahs in there.
That's hilarious. Why I honor throw summers and awesome. Oh
How
fuck.
would you like to come and take a swim in my jacuzzi?
Oh
And
yo,
my
but okay, so
jacuzzi.
you watch Rick and Morty. I gotta tell you this theory I have about Rick and Morty. Okay, you know that it's infinite universes, right?
Yeah. Originally centered around Universe C-137, Rick.
Right. So if there's infinite universes, that means every fan theory fiction is canon.
I
So
guess, yeah, it made it really easy for them to make like a comic series that doesn't interact with the show.
yeah, everything's canon. I could say that I'm Morty, you're Rick, and now that's canon. There's a universe out there in Rick and Morty where there's a Sab Powers Morty and a Rick
Yeah, but
Schneider Rick. Brian Schneider.
whoa, Rick
Rick.
Schneider.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like the only ones that matter are the universes where the Rick ends up being smart enough to invent the portal gun, right? Like that's the
That's a
important thing.
good point. Yeah, so it's there's a like infinite universes where Rick is just dumb.
Yeah,
hmm
that show is great though. They handle a lot of like philosophical concepts well, and like sci-fi, space travel, and fart jokes.
Yeah, I love
It's
it.
all over the place and it comes together nicely. Very good show.
Any show like that that's like crazy out of this world, I just love. Like Futurama, love that
Futurama's
show.
great.
Just
I
because
just
of
finished.
good.
I just finished Adventure Time not long ago, and it was great.
That's a great show too.
There's
Fuck,
an
Adventure
episode.
Time's so good.
There's an episode that has Billy West, the voice of Fry, Zap Brannigan, and the Professor in Futurama. And
Oh,
in this
dope.
episode, Jake the dog gets hungry, and he like goes inside of himself, and there's a world of himself inside himself. And Billy West plays three characters that all do those same voices, but they're their own characters. But it was a neat little nod to Futurama.
What? I've never seen that episode. That's crazy.
I believe it's in season 6. It's
Interesting.
six or later for sure
Huh.
because I watched that chunk of the show while I was sitting on my ass getting a little bit fatter. Gained like 8 pounds in a month.
Oh, damn. That's me every month, bro.
Ballooning. Hey, you're putting on your winter layer.
Yeah. I just forget to take it off every year. You know?
Hey, you know how you get a beach body, Sab? You take your beautiful body, no matter what it looks like, and you take it right on down to the beach.
Ooh, yeah. That's
We're
true.
about we're about body positivity in here.
hmm
We're only one beer deep, too.
I think I'm like 3 or 4 beers deep for me.
Host's advantage for sure.
Cheers, buddy.
Prost.
Man, so tell me some more philosophy shit. I want to hear.
Tell me philosophy. That you sound like
Yeah.
a girl on a first date, Sab. Philosophy's not for exposition, it's for answering silly questions. So ask me a big one.
What's the meaning of life?
Ooh. Fancy. We kind of create our own meaning, but it's easy enough to agree that reducing suffering and increasing pleasure for both yourself and others is that's a good definition of what good is.
Right.
So if your personal meaning of life is to live a good life, then being comfortable, having love to give and receive, and not shitting up other people's lives is a good way to go. But really, I think a lot of people get stuck in life hoping that a goal will be obvious to them. But once like all the cards settle in your own life, you kind of you have to pick what's important to you and then go with it.
Do you know, like, a problem that I had is like I thought that I was like special. Like watching like these like Disney movies and stuff, it's like or whatever. It's like everyone's like the protagonist in their own story, right? So it's like
Yes.
I almost felt like invincible and like special that like I was like destined for greatness or something. You know what I mean?
That's like, yeah, well, a lot of kids, it's like they get A's in high school because the work is super easy. And
hmm
if you're even decent at memorizing stuff, you'll do well. And like a little bit disciplined to do the homework, you'll fly through it. And then you think, oh, I'm like exceptionally smart. But you enter the real world and you realize that the ways you're being tested in school is such a narrow sliver of what like a well-rounded intelligent person needs to be.
hmm
Life gets a lot harder after that, and it can, to be very academically gifted and then kind of slap down in the real world, I think that can be very eye-opening for people and jarring. I mean, I think you're special, Sab.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks. And I think that not being special is more special. You know what I mean? Like I like
I've
that the fact that you have to earn it. And the fact that failure is a possibility is like an important factor, you know? It's better
I'm
this way.
I'm moderately eccentric myself, and I've always said I'm like suspicious of people who are overly normal seeming.
Yeah. They're hiding something. Like Ted
Yeah,
Bundy was like super normal.
yeah. Your white picket fence with like two
Yeah.
two kids and a dog and a smiling, beautiful
You have
wife.
10
There's
bodies in your
always
backyard, yeah.
there's there's always more to the picture.
For sure. Yeah.
But I'm like I don't know, I'm sure I'm annoying to a lot of people in that I happily wear my problems on my sleeve. I don't hold like a lot of shame. I can
Hmm.
discuss whatever's bugging me, which almost like a superpower, but it's probably male privilege.
It's good because stress is a killer. So the fact that you can be open about your problems is a good thing. And I think that I've done that pretty well, where I've lived in like just try to be stress free, go with the flow, and that's like
Yeah,
healthy, right?
I mean, it's so important to recognize that if you're getting stressed by things that are out of your control, out of like a human's possible realm of control,
Hmm.
then it's a losing battle. You're spraying a hose at like a forest fire.
Yeah, and you can get down in like those holes. Like I do get super sad and stuff about shit that I can't control, like shit that's going on in the world, like people suffering and stuff. And
There's lots of things to legitimately get sad about. Like you can
yeah.
have strong feelings for someone who just doesn't return them.
Oh yeah, that I'm over
Like that.
that. That's like when I was like 20 to what like fucking when I was like 15 to 25. Now I'm like I've given up. I'm
Yeah,
you know?
you get bitter, but somebody will light your fire again, and there's always the chance it ends in
Oh
heartbreak.
yeah, no, I get excited for like a day and then they leave me on like scene or something and then I'm like fuck that bitch.
The preemptive cut down.
Yeah.
No, it's
Uh
important to like demand your respect though. I don't like it. I'm not gonna. Maybe it's because I've only pursued women, right? But the
mhm.
whole people are disposable. I can just ghost them and move on. There's no one in my life who I felt that both I want them out of my life and they don't deserve an explanation as to why. Like when you
Yeah,
have a problem with someone, just fucking say it. Or if you think they want
mhm.
something and you're not up for it, just mention that it's not for you. So many people have like an issue with.
Confrontation or whatever. They don't want to be like open and honest
Yeah,
and
but
like yeah.
I understand why like a lot of women are not necessarily scared of it, but they're kind of like trained to beat around the bush with men because there's the potential that men take it badly and get violent, right? Or spread rumors about them. There
Or
are a lot of
yeah, there's a
shit
lot
out.
of weirdos out, man, and it sucks
Yeah,
because like they
it's
honestly
important
like
for them to be
ruin it
safe.
for everybody else. Like it's like I don't even want to like fucking try to hit on women or whatever. I just wait. Like if someone's interested in me, they can hit on me or whatever because like
Oh,
they
I
have
flirt
to deal with
relentlessly.
so many dudes all the time. Like and it's like there's like guys like I remember I had a buddy that he's like he literally said he like treats it like a job, right? So he'll like go and like sit there for 8 hours like constantly like messaging as many people women as he can like trying to fuck them all and like that's like his job and I'm like man that's wild bro.
Yeah, like
Like that is crazy to me.
that's that part. Like
Like
I think it's a like a mental condition when people see like sexual adventurousness as like conquest and
yeah, yeah. It's like they just want to see how many women they can have sex with, and they're like so happy that their number just like
serious
keeps going
like
up or whatever.
real talk. If you need to like lie and manipulate a woman or a person of not even the opposite sex, just a person.
Right, yeah.
If you need to lie and manipulate to have sex with them, that's like you're coming from a really bad place. You might as well just go get a fucking escort and
For me, like,
be upfront about the fact
yeah.
that this is just a sex thing.
For me, like the worst time having sex with someone is always the first time, right? It's like the more times you have sex with the same person, it gets better, at least like with my experience, and it gets more fun and you guys get more comfortable with each other. And then like that's the shit that I enjoy. The first time like I ever do it, I never enjoy it. It's like, like it's always like awkward and shit.
Yeah. The first time is the first time.
Yeah, it is. At least for me, that's the way I look at it. Like that's why like these guys that like murder their whole family for some pussy, like I never get that, man. I would just be happy with the family, you know what I mean? It's just
I
wild.
want somebody to cuddle.
Yeah.
I moved back to my dad's, and the cat that lives here like jumps up into my bed and snuggles with me, and I was like, I really needed this.
Oh. Yeah, I'm allergic to cats, so if that happened to me, I'd be like, oh no, get the fuck away, achoo. You know?
Well, that's what at first I thought. I was allergic to the
Mhm.
cat, and he rubbed up on my face, and it swelled up. But I guess I still don't really know what this is from. Maybe some stone sawdust at work irritated it.
Yeah.
I'll
It
get
looks
over it.
like you kind of got like a black eye or something, like somebody punched you in the face.
As I always say, Sab, worse things have happened to better people.
True. That's a good
That's a
point.
good. It's a good life motto.
Yo, what's your favorite movie, man? What's a movie I should watch?
You like? Are you a Tarantino guy?
Yeah,
Reservoir Dogs.
yeah, I've seen every Tarantino movie.
Okay. Reservoir Dogs is probably my favorite movie. I can
It's
go a little
dope,
more
but that movie
obscure.
makes me want to stop tipping, but I always tip. I can't help myself. But that movie
If
made me want to stop tipping.
I don't believe that in Canada the like wage disparity for servers is like so much lower where they rely on tips. It
They
still helps them
make
out a lot.
bank, yo. The servers make fucking crazy bank around here.
Like if you're a cute girl working at Kelsey's on Friday, Saturday night, you're doing quite well.
Yeah, hundreds
If
of
if
dollars a
your
night
boss
for sure.
if your boss
Guaranteed.
doesn't like you that much and only gives you the like Monday night shifts
Mhm.
and then you don't get great tips, that's probably because you're not great at the job.
But it
If
is
you're
weird.
rising
It's
up
like
and you
tipping
get the
is such a
seniority,
weird concept. Like it's just so strange.
I have no problem like taking away the tip. Like if at a breakfast place they never come to
Hmm.
get the coffee, like top up the coffee. If you asked for like a side of toast and it takes like 20 minutes to get to you. If the service
Right.
is like noticeably bad, I'll lower or like not tip.
Yeah,
But I
God,
generally 15 to 20.
one time I went to this pizza place, um, and like I pitched in enough to like way more than I should have to leave a nice tip, but they still decided to leave like almost no tip because like the service was really bad. I think the owner was serving us like half the time, and then the waitress just showed up and uh like the pizza was burnt and it was like really bad. But I didn't really know these people that much, so it's like I still gave enough cash to like give a nice tip, and then they didn't. And then the waitress like ran outside after us and like screamed like, "You left like a $3 tip on like a $30 bill or whatever," and she was like screaming. It was crazy.
I I absolutely abhor when service industry workers expect a tip and like snark you over
Yeah,
a tip.
it was funny. Then like the one of the guys that was there just like it was like me, a guy, and like two girls. So the other guy fucking just started screaming at the server. He's like, everything was shit. And they're like arguing with each other in the parking lot. It was so
I'd
funny.
say I might not tip if like
Mm.
the food is really bad, but I'm also like
That's not the
uh
server's
I
fault
no,
necessarily. Yeah.
but I'm an assertive person, and if the food like came out burnt or was really
Mhm.
bad, I would complain and tell them to
Right.
redo
Send
it.
it back or whatever. Yeah.
And then if the food comes out and it's fine, and they went to the trouble of remaking it, I
Hmm.
would tip well. I would tip well. But
Yeah. Yeah.
if they refuse and say it's fine, eat it, that would be no tip.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense.
Um,
Yeah.
I'm lucky. very rarely in my life had to do that. I've been with a lot of people where it's like they ordered like pierogies and the inside is still frozen, and it's like this needs to be redone.
That sucks. Yeah.
But so it's like I also know people who's like they could get their order completely wrong, and they're just too shy to call over a waiter to say.
Yeah, I'd just eat it no matter what.
If it's still edible, I probably won't
Mhm.
bother because that's like delays your whole night, right? Like they have to go
Yeah,
all ahead.
I'm so easygoing with shit like that, and it's like,
I mean, if it's a meal I was really looking forward to though, and it's
mhm.
all wrong, I'm life is too short to eat shitty steak.
I've eaten a lot of shitty steaks, man. The last steak I had was so bad, actually. I went up to a cottage with my buddies, couple buddies, and they all did mushrooms, and I don't like doing mushrooms anymore, so I didn't do them. And then the one buddy was like, "Let's cook the steaks on the fire." So they cooked steaks on like a fire, like that, like a grill
Open
thing.
fire.
It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
so bad, and they were like raw in the middle, so then they had to throw them back on the barbecue, and it's like they ended up just being so tough and shit. And it's like, man, you should have just cooked them on the barbecue, or let me cook them on the barbecue from the beginning. Like you didn't have to throw all these nice ass steaks on a fucking fire, ruin them.
Some some of nature's like least edible things have come from confident drunk dudes trying to cook.
Yeah, exactly. Man, one of the best things I've ever had over a fire is bacon, bro. I had bacon over a fire once, and it was like the best bacon I've had in my life.
I've had like venison jerky.
What? That sounds bomb, dude.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get to go hunting next year.
Yo, I would love to go hunting, man. Take me hunting sometime. What do? You
I
shoot with a bow or like fucking
Again,
word nice?
um, I need to go get my hunting license. I think to go hunting, everybody present needs to have done the course.
Oh, okay. So I can't just like chill, smoke blunts.
I mean, if you're gonna rap with the blunts the whole time, that sounds very tempting to invite you.
That would be sick, but then the animals would get scared away.
No, they'll want to come get lit with us.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
I think that's how nature works. I don't know. I'm a city boy myself.
Yeah, fucking.
I'm in Hamilton, born and raised. Have you moved around much?
Well, I live in Niagara Falls most of my life. I went to London, Ontario for like a year. Took college there. Um, took college. That's funny. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah,
fucked up
that's
on
about it.
college.
That's all I've done. And then like now I live in like the Welland area, like out in the middle of the country. Um, but yeah, besides that, my parents just had that one house in Niagara Falls on Dawlish our whole lives up
Hmm.
until I was like 25 or something, and then we moved here, and now I'm 29.
And a half.
Yeah, fuck, bro. I'm so close to 30, dude. I'm so
I
close
didn't
to
mean to.
30 years old.
I didn't mean to split the difference there.
Bro, it's weird how like fucking fast time like travels if you think about it. Like I
You have a
spent
useful
so
allure.
many I spent so many days like doing nothing, like just wasted so many days of my life, bro.
Hey, every breath you take is a fucking treasure, Sab.
Yeah. God damn, you're too nice to me, Ryan. Too nice. Fucking do you got any shit going on that you wanna like shout out to people? Like your Instagram or anything?
I think
Or a
I'm
YouTube
maximum
channel?
butter on Instagram. I had an idea for a YouTube channel. I never did it. So my YouTube channel is just like well edited clips of me looking like I'm decent at video games.
Nice. What's your
But
YouTube channel though? Shout it out.
uh, if you search Ryan Schneider, you find it. I think
Okay.
the channel's called Big Bad Butters though. But
What's with you and
Instagram,
butter? You just fucking love butter?
my my nickname in high school was Butters.
Because of South Park?
I
Or
try to do it like kind of like the Dark Knight, where the Joker has a different story every time someone asks him where he got the scars.
oh nice.
So, do you want one of those or the real story?
It doesn't work if you give the option. I'll take
True.
both. Give me the real story, but I want a fake story first.
Okay. In grade 6, I had just started going to middle school in Ancaster, because the school I was in placement for in Hamilton was not good enough for my mom. So she used our grandparents' address in Ancaster, which is a richer part of Hamilton, and we went to school there. And so everybody in this grade 6 I found called each other by their last name, which was pretty cool because there's like 5 Ryans in our class, but now I got to be Schneider. Well,
Nice.
they'd play fun games at recess like Kill the Carrier. Do you
What
know that
game's
one?
that? No.
It's like there's a football in a group of kids, and whoever's holding it, everyone else is trying to tackle to the ground until they
Okay.
like, drop it. So
And
it's
then
just
someone else picks it up, but why would
oh
you
yeah,
ever want to pick it up?
because you're a 12-year-old boy, and that's action.
And you want to try to run away from everybody and not get
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's keep away and fend
That's
fend
sick.
them all off. No, it's a great game. Very
I
very
can't
injury
believe I've
prone.
never played that. Seems like it'd be so much fun.
Anyway, one time I had the ball and I just like was running, but it's like if it's a rainy day in the fall, it gets all muddy and it gets very difficult to hold on to the ball even, right?
Hmm.
And so I grab it, I'm holding it, and I kind of like squeeze it, and it falls out. And then somebody called me Butterfingers from that, and then that name stuck for like the day. Kids were calling me Butterfingers, and someone said it in front of our grade 6 teacher, and the teacher was like, "That nickname doesn't sound very nice." And then one of the kids, I think his name was Brad Hofstad, he's like, "Fine, we'll call him Butters then." As if that's better. Like I knew what South Park was. I liked that show, but the nickname has nothing to do with South Park.
Wait, so that's the true story you just told me?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
I have to
What?
come up with a fake one now on the spot.
No, you don't have to. I thought you were gonna do the fake one first. That's why I was like, man, this fake story has so many details. I was like, this doesn't seem fake at all.
Fuck, man. I wish I was that good of a liar.
Yeah.
Not even
Goddamn.
close though.
Goddamn.
I hate lying. Like philosophy is a lover of knowledge. I'm a truth seeker.
Yeah, me too, man. I don't like fake news. I don't know. I just don't like lying. It's like even I've even like just been too honest in a lot of situations where it's gotten me in trouble or like
Brutal
I hurt
honesty.
someone's feelings. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I've been like punched in the face and shit for being too honest. It's like when I was a kid, I was bad. I hold my tongue a lot more now because like for some reason I
You'll,
didn't think people would just punch me in the face for something I said, but and
you'll
then it
learn
started happening.
you'll learn a little bit of tact.
Yeah.
That's part of socialism. Socializing.
Yeah.
What's the story behind getting punched in the face, if I may ask?
I've gotten punched in the face a bunch of times and beat up a bunch of times, bro. You want to hear all of them?
Well, start with one where you understand that you deserved it, and then we'll go from there.
I don't think I ever deserved it, really. Yeah, I don't think I deserved
The
it.
world the world really is a cruel and unjust place. Okay,
Yeah,
just
it's like for
give
some
the
reason it's
biggest
like people
beatdown.
either love me or they hate me. You know what I mean? I have like a lot of people that are like you're awesome, or it's like some people it's like I just like rub them the wrong way. They're just like, yo, fuck you, and you're like they just like
Well,
hate me so much for some reason. I don't know why. It's like
well, shit,
that's what
bro,
I.
you rubbed me the right way.
Yeah, I feel like you're one of the people that love me.
Look, I'm
No,
not.
that might not be true though. But I'm probably just like okay to lots of people. They're probably like whatever. Um, yeah, I think I've told some of the stories on the podcast before of getting punched in the face. Uh, it was crazy. This one time, fucking, I was 18, right, and I'm like chilling. Like I went with my friends to like one of my friend's cousin's house, and he's like, this guy was like 35 or something, and he was like a little off, and he like lived with his mom. So we're at his mom's house, and he's having a fire, and he's like revving this chainsaw like really close to my buddy's leg and shit, like pretending like he's gonna cut it. And like my buddy's laughing, like even though he's probably scared, he just doesn't want to like say the wrong thing and get punched in the face, right?
Mhm.
And I was like, I was even like, I forget what happened or whatever, but like his friend was like talking to me or something, and I said, "Yo, this is crazy. I want to get the fuck out of here." And the crazy guy overheard me, and I was like, "Yeah, he's being crazy or whatever." So then he came and he fucking just smashed me in the fucking face, and I fell to the ground. And then he goes, "I punched hookers harder than that, and they didn't fall over."
Wow. Man, crazy.
And that was like the most gangster shit I've ever heard.
Crazy people hate being accurately diagnosed,
Yeah.
especially behind their back, bro.
And then like fucking, I got up and he punched me again, and then he was like, I was like, "Can I leave?" Or I forget what happened exactly. It was a long time ago, but I remember I was like wanting to leave, and then he's like, "You disrespected me 3 times. I'm gonna punch you 3 times." And I was like, "All right, just on the face." And he's like, "Where does it hurt?" And I was like, "I'm not gonna tell you. You're gonna punch me right there." And then his friend like,
It sounds like being my sister.
yeah. And then his friend like punched me, but it's like he like I could tell he was like going easy on me because he like hit like the side of my head, and it's like, it's his friend punched me just so that that crazy asshole wouldn't hit me like a third time and like knock all my teeth out. Um,
Did you explain why you were here? Like, why you're there?
we were just like having a fire. It was like a little get together or whatever.
Is that how Niagara goes?
And then it was funny. He's like, "If you tell the cops about this or whatever, I'll fucking get the Hell's Angels after you." All this crazy bullshit. And like I never like fucking got the cops after me or anything, but it's funny he was so scared of that. And then when I'm leaving, it was like a crescent, so I had to like turn around. And he's like standing in like the middle of the street, like trying to get me to like hit him with my car or something. It was wild, bro. And I had to like drive around this guy, this fucking psycho.
Colorful characters aplenty.
Yeah, bro, it's wild. Yeah, fucking yeah. I've dealt with a lot of crazy people in Niagara Falls. Like I used to work at a haunted house for a long time, so even that was like just
You
random
worked in
sort
a
of like.
haunted house and you don't believe in ghosts? What the fuck?
Well, it's not an actual haunted house. I just worked there. I was the ghost, bro. I was the one going and shit like in people's ears and just being weird, touching them with this like wet sponge that we never washed.
Ugh.
Yeah, it was nasty. Whew.
Shutter noises.
All right, this has been good, bro. I think we've talked fucking for like 2 hours now, almost,
You can
maybe
edit
longer.
it down.
I'm not gonna edit shit, bro. I don't edit. Fuck
Okay,
editing.
wait. Before we go, am I the ugliest fuck you've had on this podcast yet?
Oh no, Joe Botello is by far.
Oh my fucking god! I was just gonna say, oh wait, you had Joe on. Okay, perfect. What a beautiful ending, Sab.
Yeah.
Pleasure to see you. To
Yeah.
hear you.
Thank you
To
so
speak
much,
with you.
bro.
Okay.
Love you, buddy.
Yeah, we're signing off now.
Peace.
I hope I can open my eyes all the way tomorrow. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Good night.
All right. Night, buddy. You're the man.
Oh, I
Bye.
try.